So in our last video, we entered all of the information that we needed to for BlueZuma Part 1. And now we're just going to real quickly go over the questions asked in the assignment. The first question is when the project is estimated to be completed and how long it will take. And as we can see here, if we go into a different view, quick, that the project is expected to be 250 working days. It's going to start on January 2nd and end December 22nd of the same year. The next question asks us what the critical path is for the project, and the easiest way to view this is if we go into the network diagram. We can see that there are some tasks that are indicated in red, and these are our critical tasks. They have no slack. So if you just follow the red path, those are the tasks on the critical path in the project. The next question asks which activity has the greatest amount of slack. If we go to view, we go back into our Gantt chart and we go down to table and we look at the schedule, we can see that each task is listed, and you can also see how much slack each task has, and you can see pretty easily that detailed marketing plan has the greatest amount of slack of 159 days. The next question asks us how sensitive this network is, and sensitivity is defined in the text as the likelihood that the critical path will change during the project. And we can see here that there is only one critical path and that the non-critical activities have quite a bit of slack. So this would be considered a not very sensitive. This network would be considered not very sensitive. The next question asks us to identify two sensible milestones and explain your choices. Well, the easiest way, I think, is to look at the network diagram. And it is important to remember that milestones are specific points in time. And the rule of thumb here is that the start of critical merge activities and the completion of critical burst activities are useful milestones. So if we look at the network diagram, we can see that selecting the product design is a critical burst activity, and the completion date of this is April 15th, which would be one milestone. And also finalizing the product design is a critical merge activity within this network. So the beginning of this activity, or July 11th, would be another milestone. And like in this case, sometimes, most of the time, the names of the activities themselves can give you a good indication of how important they are. So the last question asks us to compare the advantages and disadvantages of displaying the schedule as a network versus displaying it as a Gantt chart. Well, we have our network up right now, and as you can see, it's really easy to see the dependencies and the links between each of the tasks. So this is a very good view in order to view that part. If we go into a Gantt chart, we can see each task and how it relates to a timeline. So those are the major differences there. So now that we've completed Part 1 of the BlueZuma project, we can save this file and use it later when we start Part 2.